can't hear you.
The one villain Hollywood can never replace. Every great martial arts movie has a hero. Bruce Lee had Han, Daniel LaRusso had John Kreese, Rocky had Ivan Drago, but Bruce Leroy, he had Sho'Nuff. Now let's be honest, the first time you watched The Last Dragon, you were probably sitting there just waiting for Sho'Nuff to show up, because the man didn't just walk into a scene, he invaded it. The wild hair, the booming voice, the kind of confidence most people spend their whole lives chasing. And enough swagger to fill every block in Harlem. Over 40 years later, fans still quote him, still lose their minds when that entrance plays. Who's the master? But here's what makes this story even more remarkable. The actor behind Sho'Nuff wasn't a trained martial artist. He wasn't some undefeated karate champion. He was an actor named Julius Carey, and without fully realizing it, he was about to create one of the greatest movie villains of all time. Julius John Carey III was born on March 12th, 1952 in Chicago, Illinois. And unlike most stars who end up in martial arts films, his first love wasn't karate, it was acting. As a teenager, he joined the Spartan Players at Hales Franciscan High School, performing in productions like Hamlet and West Side Story. Those early performances lit something in him, and before long, he was touring with the group across the country. Here's what I really respect about Julius, though. He didn't chase fame. He chased becoming a better actor. After years of building his craft, he made the decision to move to Los Angeles and get serious. And instead of just hoping to get lucky, he went back to school, earning a bachelor's degree in film and television production from Loyola Marymount University, then staying on to complete a master's degree in communication arts. How many action movie villains can say they have a master's degree? Sho'Nuff probably would have just yelled at the diploma until it passed him. Throughout the late 70s and early 80s, Julius slowly built his resume. Small TV roles, small movie roles, commercials, anything that gave him a chance to perform. He wasn't becoming a superstar overnight. He was putting in the work, one audition at a time, one role at a time. And if you've ever chased a dream, you know exactly what that feels like. Success doesn't always arrive with fireworks. Sometimes it shows up after years of hearing the word no. Then one day, everything changed. A new martial arts film was searching for its villain. The hero had already been found, a young martial artist named Taimak, but the filmmakers still needed someone unforgettable to stand across from him, someone intimidating, someone larger than life, someone audiences would still be talking about decades later. They were about to find exactly who they were looking for. Landing the role was one thing, becoming Sho'Nuff was something else entirely. Julius Carey was not a trained martial artist when he was cast in The Last Dragon. And if you've seen the movie, that's probably hard to believe, because the man looked like he could knock the confidence out of you before he even threw a punch. But behind the scenes, Julius knew he had work to do. Luckily, he had one of the best teachers around. Martial arts legend Ron Van Cleef, known as the Black Dragon, a 5-time world karate and kung fu champion, served as the film's fight choreographer. He worked directly with Julius to get Sho'Nuff ready, and by all accounts, Julius didn't let him down. He trained, he pushed through the exhaustion, he put in the hours, even when his body was screaming at him to stop. Think about what that actually means for a second. Julius wasn't some athlete who just needed to learn a few moves, he was starting from scratch. No martial arts background, no fight training, just a theater-trained actor who had to convince a whole audience he was the most dangerous man in New York City. That takes more than physical training, that takes mental commitment. Every bruise, every long day in the gym, every moment of self-doubt, Julius pushed through all of it because he understood what was at stake. This role was his shot, and he wasn't going to waste it. Cast members recalled one moment during a brutal stick training session where Julius was bruised up, drained, and done for the day. He looked at the trainer and said in that unmistakable Sho'Nuff voice, "I'm going to Burger King," even completely exhausted. He still sounded intimidating, but here's what made Julius different from most people in his position. He didn't just learn the fight scenes, he built a character. The booming voice, the wild expressions, the over-the-top confidence, none of that happened by accident. Julius understood something a lot of actors never figure out. People don't remember characters because they're perfect. They remember them because they're unforgettable. And you don't forget Sho'Nuff. If confidence were a martial art, Sho'Nuff would have had a 10th degree black belt. Meanwhile, his co-star Taimak was doing the exact opposite. A real martial artist learning how to act. The two came from completely different places, but somehow they balanced each other perfectly. Their chemistry is a big part of why that final showdown still holds up today. When The Last Dragon hit theaters in 1985, audiences went wild for Sho'Nuff. Sure, they loved Bruce Leroy, but they couldn't stop talking about the villain, his look, his attitude, his one-liners, his presence. Julius Carry had done something incredibly rare. He created a villain so entertaining that people loved him almost as much as the hero. For most actors, landing one unforgettable role is a dream, but sometimes it can also become a weight. After The Last Dragon, Julius kept working steadily. He had a recurring role on The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr., which he once said was actually his favorite role of his career, playing the bounty hunter Lord Bowler. He showed up on Murphy Brown, Boy Meets World, Family Matters, A Different World, and more. He voiced characters, he kept building, he never stopped working, but no matter what he did, fans always saw Sho'Nuff. And honestly, can you blame them? When you create a character that iconic, it follows you. It's like hearing the name Darth Vader and immediately thinking of James Earl Jones. Some characters become bigger than the movie itself. Sho'Nuff was one of them. The funny thing is, Julius never seemed bitter about it. He appreciated the fans, he appreciated the film, and he understood that not every actor gets the chance to create a character people are still talking about 40 years later. As time passed, The Last Dragon became something much bigger than anyone expected. Kids who grew up watching it showed it to their own children. Martial artists quoted it, hip-hop artists referenced it, Sho'Nuff refused to fade away. And here's what people don't always talk about. The Last Dragon meant something specific to black audiences. It was one of the rare films of that era where black characters weren't sidekicks or stereotypes. They were the heroes. They were the villains. They carried the whole story. That representation mattered deeply to a generation of kids who didn't always see themselves on screen. And those kids grew up and never forgot it. They passed it down like something precious. It's a big reason why this film refused to die even when Hollywood moved on. The community kept it alive. Word of mouth, VHS tapes, cable reruns, and eventually the internet, where a whole new generation discovered Sho'Nuff and fell in love all over again. In August 2008, Julius Carry passed away after a private battle with pancreatic cancer. He was 56 years old. The community was heartbroken. Timac has spoken about him with deep respect over the years, remembering not just his talent, but his dedication, his commitment, and the way he showed up every single day. Behind all that swagger, behind all those unforgettable one-liners, was a hard-working actor who simply wanted to give audiences something they'd never forget. Mission accomplished, because here we are, more than 40 years later, still talking about Sho'Nuff, still laughing at his confidence, still asking the question he made famous: who's the master? Some characters don't just live in movies, they live in culture, and Julius Carry created one of them. Hollywood never gave him another role quite like it, but he didn't need another one. Because one performance, one unforgettable character, was enough to earn him a permanent place in movie history. Sho'Nuff wasn't just the villain of The Last Dragon, he became the villain Hollywood could never replace. If you enjoyed learning the story behind Sho'Nuff, let me know in the comments. And if there's another martial arts legend or classic movie star you want to see covered next, drop their name below. I'd love to hear it. Until next time, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.